Moby-Dick. About the author. Herman Melville was a famous 19th-century American writer, novelist, short story writer and poet. Melville was born in New York on the 1st of August 1819. He began working as a cabin boy on a whaling ship at the age of 18, and his experience would later inspire him to write a masterpiece and literary classic that not only captivated the people of his time, but also those of today. He also wrote other stories and novels such as Typee, Omoo, White Jacket, among others, although he did not achieve the level of success he achieved with his famous work. Melville continued writing for the rest of his life until he died of a heart attack on the 28th of September 1891, at the age of 72, in New York. Principal characters: Captain Ahab, captain of the Pequod; Queequeg, harpooner indigenous; Moby-Dick, white whale; Ishmael, sailor whaler; Starbuck, first official. The story. This story begins in Nantucket, a place of whaling industry, with the arrival of a sailor named Ishmael in search of an inn where he can rest from his travel, and meets a harpooner named Queequeg, who, despite having an intimidating appearance due to the tattoos that covered his body, was a very kind man, and they decide to embark on a travel together. The next day they manage to board the Pequod, which was recruiting crew for whaling but found it difficult because the owners were imposing harsh wage terms. The captain of the ship was Captain Ahab, who was recovering from the loss of a leg on his last travel. At Christmas, in the cold, the Pequod leaves Nantucket and departs with a full complement of men of different nationalities. After several days, Captain Ahab appears to communicate to the crew the reason of his real search. He was chasing a white whale called Moby-Dick, who was the culprit of the loss of his leg, and he was looking for revenge, and whoever was the first to see the whale would get a prize in gold. Well into the travel, make a surprise appearance a group of Captain Ahab's private harpooners, shady-looking, led by Fedallah. Ahab asks them to help him hunt Moby-Dick. On the way to the Indian Ocean, they manage to catch some whales and take the oil out of him. Every time the Pequod came across other ships, Ahab asked them for information about the white monster. It is on one of these ships that they meet Captain Boomer, who had lost an arm in his encounter with the whale. He talks to Ahab and tries to persuade him to return home, but Ahab, in his desire for revenge, ignores him and continues on his way. Queequeg falls ill and looks like he is going to die, so they build a coffin, but he recovers. Then maybe this coffin will serve as a kind of boat in case of emergency. Time passes and Ahab orders a harpoon to be built as he senses that they will soon encounter the white beast. One night Ahab has a nightmare in which he dies and tells Fedallah, who could see the future, who tells him that only a rope can kill him, but that he will go first, show him the way and follow him to the other world. The next day strong winds make the crew want to return, but Ahab threatens them with a harpoon to keep them going. At night, while Ahab sleeps, Starbuck, the first officer, is very angry and wants to kill the captain to end the quest and return home, but he does not succeed. After a few days they meet the Rachel, which was in very bad shape, as well as the Pequod, after the strong winds, commanded by Captain Gardiner, who had seen Moby-Dick the day before. After a while, they finally find Moby-Dick and fight him for 3 days. On the second day Fedallah dies, as he had said before, between the harpoon ropes that were around Moby-Dick's body. On the third day the monster succeeds in sinking the Pequod, and kills the entire crew. Ahab shoots out and plants a harpoon in the side of the whale, but the rope gets entangled in Ahab's neck and they both disappear in the ocean. Ishmael is the only one who survives this encounter, as he was taken out of the ship in the coffin they had made for Queequeg. After 2 days and 2 nights he is rescued by the Rachel. What they gave him: food, water and a bed. The end.